chance to meet, because Barbara, we don't get a chance to see people outside of the virtual world a lot. And sometimes you only know people from who you see in this virtual platform. Well, I had an opportunity to meet Chanelle face to face when she came to Atlanta. And we got a chance to meet and spend time together. And she is who she says she is. She was the same personality that I met through the virtual world, the same humble spirit, the same kind person. Just it was just wonderful. So when she came to me that same weekend and said, I have this idea, I want to do this thing, and this summit, and I'm like, okay, we can do that. I'm, let me know, let me know how I can help. And then I said, I know somebody who can do this.
Whoa! Before we get,
I get excited.
I know you get
excited. Stop me.
I want to get time before we get into that.
You gotta reel me in. You gotta reel me back in, girl, because I get excited.
No problem. We got this. Yes, but I just want to just take a step back just to remind people that are listening too, is that showing again how the power of people coming together and creating something even more explosive. So you and wonderful Queen Chanelle, you met and she rebirthed something that you already put out there that needed to be rebirthed so other people could see that again. And then Chanelle, on the other hand, you two came together and created this wonderful other platform that we're going to talk about in a minute. But before we go there, before we go to that platform, I want to make sure to give Chanelle some time to really discuss who she is and how she started in her lane of what she does. So Miss Queen Chanelle, just give us a little background story of you.
Oh, well, I think just as a person who has experienced a survivor of sexual abuse as a child, it just really kind of took away my voice for a while. And for a long time, I really kind of, positioned myself and responded in a victim mentality. And it wasn't until my aunt got me this book at 16 that talked about being a survivor that really kind of changed my focus on how I saw myself and how I saw things. And something that I've always just been intrinsically involved in is a story. And sometimes when you have negative things happening around you, you can your mind takes you to different places and you see stories. So I've just always seen stories. And so I've always been writing or telling stories since I was about like 7 or 8 years old. And I just have that passion, which really kind of sparked me becoming a playwright and doing my plays and just putting things on. And, I've been kind of playing around with the idea of actually putting a book out, and then you delay yourself and you say, no. And then you say, yeah, then life happens. And then you kind of put it on the back burner. And then I just had some situations in life that really caused me to really internally look at myself and take things off the back burner and start putting these things and making them a priority. And so once I started doing that, I released a book, just like LaQuita said. I connected with LaQuita on a network on Facebook of one of the groups, and we were able to connect, and that was really amazing. When I say collaborations are key, collaborations are key. Had it not been for Facebook, I don't even know where my life would be right now, because it totally put me on a total different trajectory. And I just have to know that was the end of God really moving things and situations and setting things up. We didn't know at the time that we needed to come together, but God had a plan in mind, and he just orchestrated things to bring us together. And that was one of the reasons why we connected, is because we both are Christians and we hold our values in our faith. So it was one of the things that we were able to connect upon. And so we formed Black Women Authors, and we joined it. And then, like LaQuita said, sometimes you have situations that come in life, and you may feel like it's a lemonade situation. All you have is lemons, and life is horrible. But you can either feel sorry for yourself and have your head hung down, or you can say, you know what? I know go good with these lemons. I'm gonna put some sugar in here because I love sugar. I love sweet stuff. Put some sugar in here, some water. We're gonna make some lemonade out of this situation. And I just really want to thank LaQuita Because when I say, a lot of times when you have ideas, there are people who will shoot you down like, girl, what are you talking about? Because what I was asking her was really unrealistic. If LaQuita was being realistic, she would have said, girl, no, honey, we need time and planning to do a summit. That's unheard of. Because what I was asking was really something that was, putting a summit together in, I wouldn't say it was like between 4 to 5 weeks max. It was something that was happening on a very fast, accelerated pace. And she was just like, yeah, sure. And then she started navigating, and then the various people who she's in connection with, she brought them in, and it just gelled so nicely. You can't, there's some things that you can just really kind of equate to human ingenuity, but then there are some things that you just have to step back and see that God was at work. And that's all I can say, is that God was truly at work, because bringing the various pieces with Dr. Kevin Bond and then Dr. Velma Bagby, it's just been amazing. And it's just been nothing but a uphill journey from there. And we've just all been kind of sticking together and working this thing out. So it's just been amazing.
Well, just coming back to both of you, I love how you took what you do in your lane, far as, being publishers, being speakers, being the authors that you are, and really honing in. And I know LaQuita talks about this all the time. I love when she talks about storytelling, and your stories are important, and how important they are in everybody's life. So just like you brought out, Chanelle, about what you dealt with, your story, being sexual harassment. And me, I had the same problem. I went through that myself as one of my stories. And then LaQuita with her health and dealing with that, you're connecting with people. And see, that's what I always tell people. It's so important to bring it out there. I know sometimes you have to heal to reveal, as I say. Sometimes people have to do the healing first and then reveal it. But I ask people, still try if you can, because you're helping so many other people out there that feel like they can't, or feel like they're nothing, or feel like they don't have a value. I mean, just every time I listen to LaQuita's story, it's like, oh my God, that should be in like every hospital, every medical center, everywhere.
Yes.
And with you, every woman's home shelter, all that stuff should be out there talking to those women, because they need to hear the leaders in you that said, hey, I was there and I hurt and I went through the journey. It wasn't like I was just like, it happened to me in goody drum drops and I'm good. No, I went through the hurt and the pain and the sadness, and even probably thinking about other things that we don't want to negative that we thought about. But you made a choice. You both made a choice. And you made a choice to bring this wonderful platform on yourselves first, as being CEOs of your own company. And then from that point, like you said, got together and made this other platform. So before we go into other platform, because you've both been rushing to it, let's go to our sponsor, and then we'll be right back.
Ladies, get ready for an event to remember. It's the 2-day summit that everybody's talking about. The She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically Virtual Summit, March 7th and 8th, 2023. Space is limited, so register at the SheSaidYesToHerself.com website today.
Okay, we are back. And if you're just tuning in, you have tuned into the Coaches Lounge special edition with Barbara J. Beckley and these wonderful two queens that I'm interviewing, Mrs. Chanelle Coleman Wesley and Mrs. Queen LaQuita Parks. Both are CEOs of their own company. Both have stories that will just basically are the lighthouses to the world. As I say, you are a lighthouse to the world because you're shining your light for others to come back. I always say to come back and say it's going to be okay. And making sure that you put your stories, both these ladies, I said authors and publishers, into a book. So yes, I'm just going to put it out there. Yes, I'm pushing both their businesses. Yes, I am. And we will make sure at the end of this that you'll get a chance to get their contact information and reach out to each individual and together. So ladies, okay, don't hold on any longer. So you have something that's coming up in the next few weeks called She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetic. First of all, just the title alone, alone says this how powerful it is. And I had the pleasure and honor just to be a facet part of this. And I told myself, I said, first I said yes. First I said yes. And then with these two powerful
where I was really accepting where God was leading me, being 46 years, getting ready to turn 47. There was a time where I would not tell myself yes. I told myself no. No, you can't say it. No, you can't do it. No, this isn't right. That isn't right. What gives you the right? What makes you qualified to say these various things or to do things? And just as I've become older and experiences that I've gained, I've just learned that I'm worthy and I'm deserving of my yes. And so I just really wanted to resonate with women, because most times we're serving from positions of where we're self-sacrificing. All of our ideas and our goals are put on the back burner. We're taking care of family and friends and doing all of these wonderful things that God truly just really designed for us to do, but yet we don't give ourselves that same type of dedication, motivation, and commitment. Most times we are serving others from a full cup, but when it comes time to serve ourselves, we're doing so from empty cups. And so I really wanted to resonate and to connect with women and to speak to women, to let them know that, number one, that God has called you, that everything that you've been through has purpose, that you deserve to be served. You deserve to be poured into passionately, purposefully, and powerfully. And I wanted this, the book, which started off before we got to the summit, it started off as a book. She said yes to herself unapologetically. And what it is 21 actionable steps to kind of take a woman through her journey to realize and access her yes. So I talked in the book about things about your perception, because sometimes we don't actualize or see things because we don't see it. It's not that it's not accessible. It's just that we can't see it. And how you see things ultimately will impact if you're able to access those things. And so then I talked about the fact that transition never happens in a comfortable place. If it was comfortable, then everybody would do it. It has to be scary. It's supposed to be bigger than life. And you need to look for those moments in life when you are fearful. Fear is a good thing. Fear can be a very positive motivator if you hone her in correctly. And so as I talked about those things, I was just really passionate about it. And I'm like, okay, you know what? I really want to connect with people, businesses, and individuals who also want to pour into women in this capacity. So when I talked to LaQuita's like, yes, we should just do it. She just jumped in, both feet, no hesitation, no thought about it. And I think it's just necessary in its time, because so many times we're waiting for the right time, the right place, the right situation. And the time is now. The time is now. And so it was just something that was right at the time. And I felt like it was something that God was really calling me to do. And it's just, like I said, it was so amazing to be able to connect with LaQuita, and for LaQuita to be able to reach out to her various networks and pull in additional people who will be amazing resources to this summit and give it life.
Wow. Before I get to Miss Queen LaQuita on this, that is so powerful. And just a lot of ladies, and I know for myself, I'm going to use myself because I don't get in trouble with anybody else. A long time ago, I wasn't saying yes to me because I thought I was unworthy. I thought I didn't have value. I just thought that I wasn't nothing, to be honest with you. And that came from when I was younger, when I was bullied heavily in grammar school and high school. I mean, they basically told me I was alien. I think LaQuita heard me a few times tell the story. I mean, literally, they said that the kids would say, "You're an alien." And I was like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, if I'm such an alien, find me back my planet. Because I am so sick of this. I'm tired of them telling me that I'm the ugliest person, I'm the worst person. So that can stay with you. When I grew up, and now I'm in my 50s. Yeah. And still
fabulous.
Thank you. And still sometimes that still attacks. So when you come along, Queen, and you create the book like you did, and it turned into a summit, again, see how many women that might be struggling with that, just to say yes to themselves, and say, okay, I love me. Even before they even get on a platform, I love me. And you put that out there in your book, and you and LaQuita came together and created this wonderful platform, because we got to continuously, as women, put that in our heads and remind ourselves that. Yes. So yes, please say yes. So Miss Queen LaQuita, I want to hear your take on that, because I know you got your part on it too.
Well, you know what, Chanelle is spot on. It is just it's fun working with Chanelle. It is, and you know what, we have not just working on the summit, but we have gained a friendship and a sisterhood, not more than a friendship, a sisterhood. She checks on me, I check on her, and we've learned to know each other. And I know, I'm like, okay, I know you don't feel well. And she'll say, okay, are you resting? Did you eat? So it's kind of some accountability through this process, because y'all, she got me in these, she said, yes, streets. You know what I'm saying? Always out in the streets trying to get it done. But the thing about she said yes, I totally relate. I relate to it. When I first met Chanelle and I read her story in her book, Naked and Unafraid, Naked and Not Afraid, Chanelle,
Naked and Not Ashamed.
Naked and Not Ashamed. Naked and Not Ashamed. And I interviewed her for my podcast show. And as I was reading it, and then she read it on the book slam, I was like, wow. Amazing. You are right to say powerhouse. Just super smart, super talented. And it never ceases to amaze me how talented she is. And not only that, that's just a small part of who she is, but to bring all of that and have this bursting desire to empower women. And when it's time to pour into ourselves, there is nothing to pour. The cup is empty. That's if you can find a cup. You know, you can't find the cup. So there isn't anything to use to pour. So with the She Said Yes to Herself Summit, it is not just for people to come and say, okay, here's another meeting and check it off. It's not that kind of meeting. It is one where you will be empowered. I am a proponent that whoever comes is who needs to hear it. How can they hear? We have to spread the word. This is a worldwide, this is a movement. This is not just a summit. It's a movement, because not only are we teaching women that it is okay to say yes to yourself, it is okay to say yes to yourself and be unapologetic about it. So sometimes we say yes, and then our yes is a little weak. You know, it's a little weak yes. Yes. And so when your yes is weak, then you have people to come and they can bully you into a yes. You know what I'm saying? So you have to tell them no and be unapologetic. Be unapologetic when you tell them no, because you're saying yes to yourself. You're pouring into yourself. You're feeding into yourself. And we have to do that. And the thing that I love about it is we are able to connect to so many different people who have said yes to themselves. And not only that, Chanelle reminds me every day that I need to say yes to me. You know, sometimes we'll go back and forth and I'll say, okay, I can do this. And she's like, no, you need to rest. And I'm like, but I can do this. No, did you eat today? But I can do this. And she was like, no, and if I send a message, I get one back. You're supposed to be resting. And I'm like, mind your business. This is my business. And I love that. And I appreciate that. And I give, y'all know I give as good as I get, you know, but we have to know that, you know, there's somebody that said, well, women can't work together. I don't know it. I don't know that. That has never been an issue for me, because I bring me to the table. And I know who I am. And I know what I bring to the table. And I am learning through She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically. Barbara, I am learning just how powerful my story is. I did not know it before, but I know it now. And so we teach them that you have to be secure and understand that you are good enough. So the She Said Yes to Yourself Unapologetically Summit, for your listeners and your viewers, you are important. And you need to register. If you have not, you need to go to www.shesaidyestoherself.com and purchase your ticket. It's a 2-day summit. Purchase your ticket. And if you can't make it, something, I got to work. I can't. It's 2 days. It's $25. And you get the after party. So there are so many different opportunities. If you miss the summit, you can catch it on the replay, and you benefit because you're going to get your swag bag and you're going to get access to all of the speakers. Can you imagine what it's going to be like to get access to the Diamond Factor, to Miss Barbara Beckley? Can you imagine the access? Can you imagine getting access to CeCi's ink. Do you guys know how powerful she is? The playwright. Do you know how valuable it is to get a strategy session with me? To get a 1 hour strategy session, and we do some work in that 1 hour, and I guarantee you will walk away with an abundance of opportunities on how you can take your message and spread it multiple times. And it's proven. So that's just the three of us who are on this summit. That's just us three. Can you imagine the other powerhouses on this summit?
We gonna get to those powerhouses. We gonna get to powerhouses. We gonna get to powerhouses right now.
How to say
what we're gonna
yes
do?
To myself. I done got excited.
I know it's like we're about to do the shouting dance. So before let's get to some of them powerhouses, and then we'll be back because I want to get some lasting thoughts from both of you wonderful queens for the audience. Not just about the yes, she said yes, but just something that's powerful that you want to leave for everybody. So we'll be right back.
Time is running out for you to register for the She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically Summit. Are you in the race of your life, but you're tired of trying the same old thing with no results? Let the leaders of the She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically Summit be your guide. We'll gladly show you the way. In order to get something you've never had, you must be willing to do something you've never done. It's going to take sweat, blood, and tears. You must be willing to be stretched like you've never been stretched before. Work harder than you've ever worked. Your only competition is the one you see looking at you when you look into the mirror. And the only race that truly matters is the one with your purpose and mother time. Sometimes the weight we really need to lose isn't on our bodies. Experience your yes today. Space is limited, so register to get your tickets now at www.shesaidyes2herself.com. And we'll see you at the summit.
Leave you with is that 100% of everybody living and dead has a story. There is always somebody waiting on the other end of your story so that they can heal from their story. The She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically Summit lets you find your voice. If you don't know where your voice is, you can find it at the summit. There is an opportunity for everybody. Know that you are important. Your story is important. You are powerful. And how do you do it? Just start. Take the step. This is for you. Pour into you. You've poured into everybody else. Now it's time to pour into you. She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically is for me. It's for you. 2023, do something that you've never done. Say yes to yourself unapologetically and come to the summit and let people pour into you and use your skills and your know-how and pour into others. I hope to see you there.
She said yes. Why? She said yes because it's necessary, because it's time. For such a long time, I've had low self-esteem, and I was always making comparisons against this woman and that woman and what she had, and if I had her this, and if I did this way, or if I did that way. And I was always trying to shrink myself and to fit into a space or a place that really truly couldn't contain me. And so what is the She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically movement all about? It's about taking yourself out of shrinkable places. It's about taking yourself outside of the box and realizing that you are worthy of your yes.
Time is running out for you to register for the She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically Summit. The She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically Summit mission and vision is to pour passionately, purposefully and powerfully into 1,000 plus women. We strive to empower women from all walks of life to walk within their God-given purpose, realize their potential, and experience their yes. The She Said Yes to Herself Unapologetically Summit would be an impossibility without the generous contributions of our amazing sponsors. Ladies, be sure to patronize businesses that support you. Space is limited, so join us now at www.shesaidyes2herself.com. Get your tickets today before they're gone.